just at Doggy World. Shout out to Doggy World in Huntersville. You need to carry her products because they only have 2 products on their shelf in this entire warehouse full of pet items. There are only 2 CBD SKUs in their entire roster. And so that just goes to show that you definitely made an enlightened decision, right? Following that enthusiasm. That's how you find. A lot of times people think, and I meant to say this yesterday with a previous episode that we recorded. I had a guest, Julian Gordon, a great friend of mine. I've known Julian for over 20 years. And he talked about just instinct. And I say to my husband all the time, some people will follow insights, but I've come from the school where you follow instinct. And that genius thing is normally the thing that lights you up. And when you talked about the enthusiasm that you felt like doubling down and focusing on the experience of a pet mom and how you get to curate a product line for pets, you get to craft messaging that connects with other pet moms like you, the relevance, the excitement, all of that is the sauce that no one can take.
No one can take it. And I think to your point, you have to listen to those insights, right? Yeah. Like I understand that, but it's something else that is very hard to describe of this is where I need to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's understanding yourself as a person.
Yeah.
As a, what moves you, what inspires you. But also it was the insight that in 2020, when we were inside, pet ownership blew up because everybody needed a companion.
Yeah.
People wanted a companion.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's interesting. And now there's some people giving their dogs up, but a lot of people aren't.
Right.
This is now this is their family.
Yeah.
And how do I manage now that I'm going back into the world? Right. I'm going to this brunch. Okay. Like I might be there for a second. Right. I probably need to give my dog some CBD, because I'm a big advocate. You have to walk your dog.
Yes.
I don't believe that anybody should just be handing out CBD and not attending to your animal.
Of course.
But, it's making people or helping people through this experience of getting back into life, going back to work.
Yeah.
All of those different things. I mean, it's just really helpful. So it was just coming together, and I was like, all right, this is the move. This is what we're going to do.
Thing. Yeah. I love that part of it. And, I'm going to dive into more of that cannabis business because we've talked about this in our rolling out sessions, but there are so many back end things that we've had to overcome pioneering this space. Share a little bit about what you've had to endure. What have been some of the biggest challenges since you've launched your brand?
I think there's a lot of them. I think the first thing was initially when we came out, it was like 2018. Mm-hmm. Nobody really understood it, especially being a Georgia-based brand. Mm-hmm. So anything that was CBD that was like, oh, that's that weed stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, first of all of y'all smoke weed. Like, don't even act like that. So that's what started us having events.
Yeah.
And so we did this event called It Ain't Weed to just start educating people the differences. Now, it doesn't mean that weed is bad.
Right.
We love
what we love.
We love it. But there's other ways to enjoy this plant. Yeah. And so that was one of the things that helping people and educating people about how it works. I think as time went on, more people start learning about it, more people talk about it. So that was a thing. I think the big thing for us was branding CBD, because CBD was like a brand of itself. Mm-hmm. So like, I tried CBD before. I'm like, but you haven't tried my CBD. Like, this is a different, like it could be different. And granted, maybe there's not a huge differences. Like there's so many differences.
There are definitely huge differences.
Yeah, right. Thank you to confirm that. But and that's the thing. That's what we were facing was, I've tried that before. Yeah. And people just pushing it away or not knowing how to dose it right.
Right.
Oh, I took a drop. Well, what did you expect to feel from one drop of right? 2 whatever small milligram that you had? So I think it was a lot of education connected to that, and then branding. So that's where my marketing. That's my favorite part. I saw that I wanted to create a brand that was disconnected from the cannabis leaf.
Yes,
and so I was like, okay. How do I do this? How do I create something? I look up to the Nikes, you know, the logos that you don't need the name connected to it. And so that's what I wanted to create for Eunoia, was like, when you see that diamond, which I designed our logo, I designed our product labels, all that. So hopefully one day I'm not doing that. But right now, that's what I'm doing. And it's really the portal into this beautiful world.
Okay.
And so the world of Eunoia. And so that was the beauty of it. And as we connected it to pets, it's like, you should want to create that world for your pets.
Yeah.
They deserve a beautiful world too.
Yeah.
They're experiencing stress too. They're experiencing all those things. So how can we, communicate that in a way that doesn't feel as scary as saying weed or seeing that leaf or all of those things, especially, again, I'm Southern.
Yeah.